In this video, I want to show you how to manipulate and manage the course menu, or these blue buttons. Every new course will have a course menu that looks just like this. The course menu is designed to be visible to students unless, number one, the buttons are invisible by default, number two, you make a button invisible manually, or number three, a button is a content area that's empty. While these buttons are the default buttons in every new course, you can manipulate this course menu to suit your particular course. To add new buttons, you hover over this plus sign and you choose what kind of menu item you want to add to the course menu. In this video, we're going to discuss content areas, tool links, and web links. You can experiment with the other kinds of course menu items on your own. A content area is an area where you upload all of your teaching content, such as tests, drop boxes, discussion forums, lectures, PowerPoints, and so forth. A tool link is a tool that already exists in Blackboard to which you want to give students quick and easy access by adding it to their course menu. And a web link is a course menu item that takes students directly to a website. To add a content area menu item, hover over the plus sign and choose Content Area. Give your content area a name. Make it available to users, which means students can see this menu item, and click Submit. By default, all new menu items appear at the bottom of the course menu. And notice that in this new menu item, Week 1, there's a gray box that's empty. An empty gray box next to a menu item tells you two things. Number one, this menu item is a content area. Number two, the content area has no content in it. Until you put content in a content area, that gray box will display next to the menu item and students will be unable to see this menu item even though you made it visible to them when you created it. As soon as you add content to a content area, the gray box will disappear and students will be able to see the menu item, just as they can see Start Here and Lessons, which are two default content areas that we include in all new courses. All content areas look exactly the same. If we click Start Here, we can see 4 hyperlinks in the action bar: Build Content, Assessments, Tools, and Partner Content. These hyperlinks are what allow you to build your course content and to add teaching material to a content area. If we click Lessons, we see exactly the same thing, the same 4 hyperlinks, and if we click Week 1, we see the same thing, because Week 1 is also a content area. But again, because Week 1 is empty, it has no content in it, this empty gray box appears next to it and it is not visible to students until you add content. A word of caution, we have provided 2 content areas in every default menu, Start Here and Lessons. While you can add additional content areas, we suggest that you add as few as possible, because the more buttons that you add to this course menu, the longer it gets and the more scrolling students have to do to see the buttons. Notice that next to the discussion board and the instructor manual menu items, you have a different kind of gray box. You have a gray box with a slash through it. That means that these menu items have been made invisible to students manually. In the case of the discussion board and the instructor manual, these menu items by default are invisible to students. To make a menu item visible or invisible manually, you click the arrow to the right of the menu item, like the discussion board, and you click Show Link to make it visible. The gray box disappears and students can now see this menu item. To make a menu item invisible to students manually, click the arrow to the right of the menu item and click Hide Link. The gray box with a slash in it appears and that menu item is now invisible to students. The next menu item that I want to show you is a tool link. Hover over the plus sign and choose Tool Link. And again, a tool is something that already exists in Blackboard, but to which you want to give students quick and easy access by adding it to the course menu. Examples of tools already in your course menu are Send Email, My Grades, and the Calendar. To add a new tool to your course menu, next to Type, choose what kind of tool you want to add. To add the calendar, you would simply click Calendar in this list, give it a name. In this case, we'll name it Calendar. Make it available to users, which means students can see this menu item, and click Submit. Because we already have a calendar menu item, we'll cancel this. Instead of adding individual tool links to your course menu, you can add an entire tools area by hovering over the plus sign, choosing Tool Link. Next to Type, instead of choosing an individual tool like Calendar or Email, choose Tools Area. Give it a name. We'll call this Course Tools. Make it available to users, which means students can see this menu item, and click Submit. Again, by default, new menu items appear at the end of the course menu. When users click a menu item that's a tools area, like Course Tools, this is what they see. As you can see, many of the tools in this tools area are redundant of the individual tool links in the course menu, such as Announcements, the Calendar, and My Grades. If you want to use a tools area like this in your course menu, you can hide links that are redundant of the individual links in your course menu by clicking Hide Link. Once you hide a link, students cannot see it in Course Tools. They will still see it in the course menu, but not in Course Tools. Alternately, you can leave the tools visible in the Tools area and delete the individual course menu link by clicking the arrow to the right of the course menu item and clicking Hide Link or Delete. If you delete a tools area or an individual tool link, you're not deleting the actual tool, you're simply deleting its link, and you can get it back with one click of a button. However, if you delete a content area, such as Start Here or Lessons, you delete everything in that content area. So be very careful about deleting content area menu items. The last kind of menu item that I want to show you is a web link. Hover over the plus sign and choose Web Link. This will give students access from the course menu to a website. You have to know the URL before you do this, and you can then copy and paste that URL here, or you can keyboard the URL. Give your website a name. Make it available to users, which means students can see the web link, and click Submit. The new menu item appears at the end of the course menu, and notice that because I made the name of this menu item so long, it doesn't all appear on the button. To change the name of a menu item, you click the arrow to the right of the menu item and you select Rename Link. And you click the green check mark, and the button now has a new name. To move buttons around, you grab the crossbars to the left of the button that you want to move and you drag it. Remember that the arrow to the right of these buttons gives you the options to rename, hide, or delete the menu item. Deleting a tool link does not delete the tool, it simply deletes the link. However, deleting a content area menu item like Start Here, Lessons, or Week 1 will also delete all teaching material in that content area.